Hey guys, what's going on? This is going to be a quick setup tutorial on OBS for the Neewer NW-700 microphone. I know a lot of people use this microphone to get into streaming and also YouTube. So there's not really too many audio tutorials on YouTube other than the actual setup of putting the microphone together, attaching it to your desk and things like that. But none really go into the actual setup behind the scenes and the actual audio settings of OBS. So I figured I'd make a quick tutorial since I've spent the last couple days trying to iron out my microphone. Since this is a beginning microphone, you can't expect too much like you'd get out of maybe an Audio Technica microphone that sits more around the $100 price point. But for the price, this is actually a very good microphone once you get the settings ironed out. So the first thing that I recommend doing is actually opening your sound menu, your recordings, which I have right here. And the first thing I want you to do is actually name your microphone so you always know which one you're going to be using. And you're going to want to go into properties. And this is one of the first things that I realized helped a lot. At first, you might be freaking out because your microphone doesn't sound anything better than the headset. But you want to go to advanced and make sure you're on 48,000 hertz and not 44,000 hertz, which is what you're probably on. This is a Phantom. This microphone is being powered by Phantom power supply, which delivers 48 hertz. So you can use this DVD quality. So go ahead and keep it on that. I keep my microphone boost on 0 decibels because I'm pretty well spoken. I don't need any boost. When you start boosting, that's when you're going to get the more background noise and the white noise and the hissing. Nothing else really needs to change in this, so you can go ahead and exit that. And you're also going to want to go into your OBS settings. So you want to go to your settings and you want to go to your audio tab and also change this sample rate to 48 kilohertz. So it matches up with your computer. And when you do this, you're going to get a prompted message saying that you need to restart OBS. So go ahead and do that real quick. And then also in your mic auxiliary audio device, make sure you're selecting your Neewer NW-700 microphone and you're not using maybe the microphone that comes with your webcam or just a general microphone that you might be using maybe in your headset or something like that it might pick up. So once you get those settings ironed out, you really don't need to do much else in that part other than in the filters with your mic. The filters is what's going to improve your voice quality and get rid of the hiss, which you kind of have to work with. I worked with it over the last couple of days, and I'm going to give you the settings that helped me, but every room is different. The amount of ambient noise and things like that is going to be changed. For instance, I'm in a basement and I have an AC unit in the room behind me, as well as the hot water tank and things like that. So I have a lot of ambient noise going through. So you guys might actually get a little bit better quality out of your mics because you won't have to suppress that white noise as much. But just to get right into it, the first thing you want to do is you're going to click the little cog wheel that goes with your mic aux port. And you want to go to filters. And the first thing I want you to notice is the order at which these are in. We have noise suppression, noise gate, and then gain. So at first it might not look like these matter, so like the order or anything, but that's one of the key things to know is that the order of these do affect the outcome of your voice quality. So the first thing you want to add is a noise suppression, but before I get onto that, I'm going to hide all these filters just so you can hear the raw input of the mic. Alright, so you should hear a lot of the hiss that's in the background of this mic. As you can see, my voice quality is a little bit better, but that's what you have to give up to get rid of that hiss. So the first thing that we're going to do is, like I said, the noise suppression. This is the part that's going to deteriorate some of the quality of your mic, but it'll be worth it in the end. So my mic I have set on negative 33 decibels. I fluctuate in between negative 38, negative 33, and negative 28, somewhere in that sweet spot. So let me go ahead and put this back on. As you can tell, the sound of the hiss changed a little bit, as well as the quality of my voice. So what you want to do when you have this noise suppression is also pair it with a noise gate. My noise gate threshold is at negative 45 and negative 40 decibels with the close and open. And I also changed the attack time, hold time, and release time to 50, 25, and 25. and I'll explain that in just a second. Let me go ahead and enable this. So as you can hear this hiss in the background, it probably isn't too prominent, but as soon as I enable this, you shouldn't hear anything when I'm done talking. So it should have went silent right there. That's what happens when you pair the gate and the suppression. But the main thing I advise you to do is download a program like Audacity. And as soon as you open Audacity, you can monitor your mic's decibel level resting and then when you're talking. So I recommend downloading that, opening it up, monitoring your mic level, and just looking at about the highest point that it ever reaches of just your ambient noise in the background, which mine's about 48, negative 48 decibels. So I set my close threshold to negative 45. Like I said earlier, I'm a very well-spoken person. I speak loudly, so I can get away with having it kind of that high. And then when the open threshold, you want to kind of just talk very quietly into your mic when you have Audacity open, just to see the lowest point that your mic level hits, just so you know you're not gonna miss out on any sound when you're talking or skip anything. So mine sits at about negative 42. When I speak loudly, I'm all the way up at like negative 20, so I don't really have to worry about that. I don't plan on whispering too much when I'm streaming. So go ahead and put that there. Attack time, hold time, and release time. These I don't really, I'm not 100% sure that I'm doing the correct thing, but when I change the settings, it does help me out a little bit. My attack time I changed from 25 to 50 because I felt like when I put my open threshold up higher, that I was missing the beginning of words like French fry and things like that. Like I was missing the very because the decibel level isn't very high in those words. So I upped the attack time a little bit. The hold time and the release time I lowered actually because when I'm done talking, I want the mic to stop inputting audio. So that can kind of get rid of that the hiss or like the echoey metallic sound that's left over if you put your suppression level too low. And then finally the gain. This part isn't too terribly important. It depends on kind of how low your voice is or how high your voice is. I put it on just because with the noise suppression, you kind of lose some of the lower tones of your voice. So I put that on. I'll enable this real quick. It kind of makes my voice just a little bit louder. I think it replaces some of the deeper tones, like I said. So I keep that. I'm actually going to go ahead and move the noise suppression to the very bottom of the filters just so you can see how it changes the audio quality. So this is what it sounds like in the correct order. And this is what it sounds like in the other order. As you can usually tell, there's a little bit more, I don't know, echo behind my voice. It sounds kind of like computer computer generated a little bit. I don't know how to explain that. So make sure you put your suppression first, then your noise gate, then your gain. Once you do that, I think your mic should sound pretty good. And just keep in mind that all these settings are going to be kind of dependent on your own mic. So you're gonna have to do some of these tests by yourself. What I recommend doing is, if you are streaming, to open up your Twitch channel and kind of just have a black screen posted. If you don't, I mean, if you're getting into Twitch right now, if you're not, you kind of have to work with that because you're gonna have viewers, but I don't yet. So I just kind of streamed a black screen and then used a mobile device and put headphones in, and I would talk through my mic, and then I could listen through the delay, which was about 10 seconds, what I sounded like. So then I could say, okay, this is testing at a suppression level of negative 35 and this is at negative 25, and that's let me kind of find that sweet spot. So that's what I recommend doing. You can record your voice and then watch it, but if you're going to do that, I would recommend having kind of a higher end video, like a video display program, because Windows Media Player and stuff like that kind of butchers your audio quality anyways. So be careful doing that. So all in all, these are the only things that you really need to look at in terms of what's in OBS settings. And I think that once you do this, your mic should sound pretty good. If this helped you, please leave a like. Anything helps. I'm just now starting out in my YouTube channel and also my Twitch stream. I'll link I'll link the Twitch down in the description. But I just know that YouTube didn't really have too many videos on the actual settings behind OBS, and when I first got my mic, the quality was just not what I was expecting, and I was kind of freaking out. So I figured, now that I figured this out, that I would try to help somebody else. So if this did help, I'm glad that it did. But if it did not, leave a comment in the under the video, because I have a lot of friends who are very let's say technically inclined, and they might be able to answer these questions if I ask them. I know my settings are going to change, if so I'll update in the description and things like that.